ॐ छायामो धवळावगुण्धनवती तेजोमयीं नैष्टिकीं विद्यां पाङ्गविलोकिनीं भगवती तस्मिदश्रीमुखी वात्सल्यां कृतवर्षिणीं सुमधुरं सङ्कीर्तनालापिनीं श्यामाङ्गीं मधुसिक्तसूक्तिम् अमृतानन्दात्मिकाम् ईश्वरी. May Lord Shiva's Kashi Vishvanatha's blessings shower upon each one of us. अयोध्या तो बस झांकी है, काशी मथुरा बाकी है. When there are hundreds of other temples that are vandalized by Mughals and other foreign invaders, have you ever wondered why?
40,000. It is recorded 40,000.
Oh, 40,000. Okay, sir. I'm correcting it. 40,000 plus other temples.
A list has been prepared by already Professor Goel.
Yeah. Sure, sir. Sure.
Okay.
So that much temples that are vandalized by Mughals and other foreign invaders. Have you ever wondered why this slogan has gained so much popularity all over India? Because such are the sentiments for Kashi and Mathura that resonates in the hearts of each and every Hindu all over the world who loves their culture and tradition. Kashi is the living example of our immortal civilizational might. Whenever the foreign forces tried to invade us culturally, we have stood up and fought against it. Kashi itself was vandalized several times, but under the strong leadership of Rani Ahalyabai Holkar, the current temple came into existence. Now, in this era of resurgence, we are in the process of regaining the glory of our rich cultural heritage. This will become one more testament to our indestructible Sanatana Dharma. Kashi is home for one of the 12 Jyotirlingas and is also one of the world's oldest continuously inhabited cities. The worship of Shiva here dates back to thousands of years. A Hindu, in whichever part of the world he is, remembers Kashi through some form of ritual, such as during marriage, homas, and even in the death ceremonies. Such is the relevance and importance of Kashi. Today, also being Women's Day, whom else shall we celebrate if not Lord Shiva, who himself gave a part of him to his wife? Kashi is also the abode of Annapurna Devi, who takes.
Let me speak and you can conclude, because
Yeah.
you will say everything, then I have to say only Om Namah Shiva.
Yeah, sure, sir. So I'll just welcome. I'll just give you a brief intro of you, and then we'll.
Yeah.
I'm just coming to that. So, Ranaji.
Just simple.
Yeah.
No big deal for introduction. We all are bhakt and devotee to Shiva and our culture.
Yeah.
I am one of the very tiny little rest of that one. That's all. This is.
But your contributions to our culture are huge, sir. So I think so. We should do that justice to our listeners. Like we should give a brief intro about you. So Rana Singh ji has been a professor of cultural landscapes and heritage studies, and in the BHU, Banaras Hindu University, and he was also the HOD there in geography in the Institute of Science. And now currently he is a visiting professor at the Center of South Asian Studies in Gifu Women's University in Japan. And he held several positions like president of Asian Cultural Landscape Association. He is also Asia region president for reconnecting with your culture.
Simple thing is, I am your just companion and that's all. Okay, let me just share this screen, please. Allow me.
Yeah, sure, sir, sure.
Okay, let me share the screen. Today is Shivratri, so two important things we should start with. Already started that Astuti to Lord Shiva, and Shiva can't work without the Shakti. Here is Amma. So Om Namaste Sai, Namaste Sai, Namaste Sai, Namo Namah Ma Amriteshwari, Namo Namah. So this is just to have prayer and preparation, initiation, then only we can start something. Okay. Before that, I can say anything. Today is Shivratri, and that is called the great night of Lord Shiva when he got married. So this is the night to what metaphysically we say that from darkness to light. the intensity of darkness is going to be converted to light for the well-being, and that's how Mahashivaratri. This is the greatest such thing happening according to our Sanatana Hindu textual tradition. So we all have already heard the mantra and prayer Om Namah Shivaya, and now I am going to start with. So title, you all know that this is very general and popular things. It is nothing like academic lecture, you can say, in a sense, because I never think that I am academic at all. I am one of the very tiny, small Bhakta of Shiva, just like a particle of dust. So something, what we are now talking, what is going on. So I will try to say some of the important aspect that related to Lord Shiva and Kashi. So just to impress that there is a saying that three things, if you can link together, that is the Shiva, the cosmic energy, then the water, Ganga water, not Ganges, but Ganga Ji. This is again corrupted. Ganga, Ganges in the West, it has no sense. Ji is an old word, quite a long back, respectfully used. So that is the liquid energy, then the solid cosmic energy, and then itself that these meet together, the earthly spirit, Mother Earth, Prithvi. All three meet together and they form the trident of Lord Shiva. There is the city of Kashi. This is the metaphysical explanation of that one. And now I'm starting a little bit story like this. So before we can tell anything, we have to know that old saying, what we say, yatha namo tatha guna. As your name, so thy fame. There are, according to textual tradition, 108 names, 108 names of the city, and all having different explanation, etymology, and context. More commonly, we are using three words. Banaras, very popular name. It has nothing like anything a deeper religious sense, but more common, you can say social cultural name. Varanasi is more geographical name between the two rivers. Varna, here if you can see my cursor, that is in the north, and Asi in the south. That's how the inner side is Varanasi. And the most important name is Kashi. It has several explanations. We have 54 such explanations. So I'm not going to discuss all those historical things. The simple thing is to say what is Kashi. So from scientific side, that was in 1993 to 1995. We got a project. I was their assistant. That was a high-level project from MIT and University of Colorado. And that time it had been thought that this has something very special thing. Kashi, Kasha Hiti Kashi, where the cosmic light concentrate within that area is called Kashi. That I will show you that how it has been scientifically measured what was all in the text. But we are talking about Kashi, then we have always to remember a great lady, our mother is Ahilyabai Holkar, what Achaji had already referred. Because whatever today we exist, that one point to one reference, one lady, that is Ahilyabai, otherwise the things were going to be lost by the Mughal invasion or whatever was having. So namaste to Ahilyabai Holkar ji, our pranam. Where the name start. Okay, so before we can see about the Lord Shiva, so something we have to know the two sides of the reality. Two means what is the popular belief. The popular belief says that this is a god living in Kailash, then he got married, then he gave birth to Ravana, then he came to Varanasi. Oh, this is a mythological story. Something scientific is also there. And that credit goes to a famous theoretical physicist, Joe Capra, who wrote a book in 1975, and two, three others books also published within 2, 3 years around that period. So just to say something that what he said, Shiva Linga is not like God, but simply people say. It is the whole representation of the totality of the cosmos. Shiva is nothing like only name, but Shiva is a very small symbol through which you can understand the whole cosmic reality. So here is that explanation. You can see the lower side. There are 108 types of Shiva Linga. Okay. according to Shilpa Shastra, the science of sculpture in Indian tradition. Here is a just simple example. 3 layers underground, then 7 lotus petal, 2-dimensional, 7 in the back, and octagonal 4 here and 4 in the back. This way you can say the 3 layers, 3 mythical realm, heaven, earth, and underworld. The 7 lotus petal is just like chakra. You see it in the body from navel cord up 7 and 7 down. Then octagonal, that is the 4 hands of Vishnu. So lower side is called, that is a Brahma, that is called Srishti. Then Vishnu, and then this is the cup. Yup word is used. Yup means the cosmic cup. And then Linga is nothing like what in the Western tradition say, erotic symbol. Nowhere it is written. This is all explanation and narration. That says that it is just representation of the real power of infinity. Akasha rupena chitta matre. That is the word. And when you put your mind in the super consciousness, and it is going to be linked, and you can see the sky anywhere, you can see sky that is spherically moving, covering you, and that is the Shiva. That's how it is called Shiva. So all meet together. That is evolution, because everything is going to infinity and then recreated. So in that way, the whole linga is representing the cosmic journey in this whole, you can say, galaxy. That is the explanation, and he tried to test such theories in his lab, that in Lawrence laboratory. This is one. Second thing is, Shiva is considered to be that he's with his body in the linga is installed, and there are 18 points represented with the 18 Puranas, and 18 different forms of the body represented with the linga. So we say this is 18 power linga. So linga, what you see in physical sense, it is like a structure, but if you go deeply and get attached, then you can understand these. These things will come in course, so I have given you this background. Now the other thing is that just now already referred that this is one of the Jyotirlingas. So based on the forest canto of the Mahabharata, it is described that there are 12 Jyotirlingas. The lingas manifested with the light. And that is representing the 12 months, soul zodiac, etc. These all first description and credit goes to Indian scholars, Vishvanatha, who long back published on that, and that became very famous in 1973. Published that. These all that replicated by 9th century, early 9th century in Varanasi, in Kashi. The replica has been made in a way that it will represent that in a miniature form. So the structure, we have studied this, we have studied 212 such places all over India, and then with a photographic and computer program, try to see why this is called replica. It means it has something substantive transformation of energy from original to this place. And the process, what we call prana pratishtha. It means transforming the ethereal breath energy from original place to other place, and that's why the other place will be also equal to energy. So that is the whole system. So we can say this is a 3-level description, all India level. So we call in technical sense macrocosmic result. The middle one here in the city area that we call mesocosmic. And then we have micro. There is a temple, Vishveshvara Mandir temple. So all on the Ulva plate, miniature structure of lingas are there, and all are coded. So you can easily, for example, you can say 7 here, 7 is Rameshwar, 7 here in Varanasi. If you can see my cursor, Varanasi, and then you go close by to Sri Lanka, that state, and you can find Rameshwar. This is unique thing. What Surinder Bhardwaj used to say, a very old man, he is now 92, that this is unique in the whole world, representing the cosmic reality on earth, and then coming very close by either your body or a temple. That is the idea. And the center of that one you can see in this linga, central one is called that Jyotirlinga at Kashi. So this is one of the another perspective to say that why Kashi is so much important. One more point is about the Kashi, the city in general terms. We call it a spatial transposition. It means you have transferred those things just now I mentioned from original to the different place. It is not only Shiva. We have counted 212 such sites of all India level, that is pan India level, because historically it means before 11th century. Whatever existed in India, they have been replicated in Varanasi. So side by side, you can say in the map of India, we have plotted here, selected one only plotted 25, and then how they are represented in Varanasi. Then with the photographic description, the family link, the chief priest of all these family temples in Varanasi, they are already linked to the original site. For example, you go to Rameshwaram temple in Varanasi, and you can ask the fellow will say, yes, my family is linked to the real Rameshwaram. So that is another thing to say that why it is called this is mini India. It is not only in physical sense, it is metaphysically, it is culturally, it is cosmologically, and it is very deeply religious. You can say dharmic. When we say word religion, that has a very narrow meaning. That is dharmic or sanatana. That is the way. Okay, now I am going to start with, this was just giving you background. So the first thing we say just now, already Acharya has referred, that this is one of the ancient, most living city. So two sides of the things to say about this. The one thing is that emotionally and being part of the Sanatana Dharma, you say like this. But technically, it is not. Technically, the city was destroyed 3 times brutally, badly, and the last was 1194 destruction, and the worst was the when Aurangzeb involved that. I will show you the slide 1669. Now, how to call it? This is continuity and this is historical city. So, my Guruji and teacher Nils Gushoe Jarman, who has studied the city lifelong more than anybody else, he has a huge collection, 20 million draft and photographs of the Banaras, like that. Took 50 years. Anyway, what he used to say, the most beautiful thing, he studied ancient cities for different parts of the world, about 50 years traveling and doing like this. But he said that the most beautiful thing about Kashi is that, in spite of such destruction, and the last destruction, 1669, under Aurangzeb, the things has been recreated in a manner that nobody can say this is not. They maintain that ancient glory, the system, the rituals, the faith system like this, and this is unique. And this way we can say this is the eternal city, city of eternal bliss, city of Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva is dancing, completing the cycle, what we call destruction, but it is wrong. Again, if you can translate in English, destruction hyphen recreation. It is going on like a spiral. And this city is example of. So whatever now you see in physical sense, the buildings and structures, these are all 18th century. But the moment you can go into deeper level, I will give you one two examples like this. Okay, this is one point. Second thing is that in archaeological sense, from where we start the whole journey, it goes to about 1000 to 1500 BC. So some of the archaeological sites you can see, Rajghat excavation, how it has been done. And the story of Vishvanatha, that started with the seal found there. That's a Avimukteshwara. Vishveshvara name came later on. Vishveshvara used that you are the Lord of the world. So it is more, you can say, honor to Avimukteshwara. So Motishan in 1962 is considered to be the highest level of historical in terms of Kashi. What he said, both have the same thing. Later on, that became so common that we mixed Avimukteshwara, but they are linked together. And this is based on this upper seal. This is dated about 6th, 7th century AD. This is just to give you a chart. These are all published things. So those who are interested in more detail with all the proof and literary sources or archaeological sources, you can just put my name, Rana, and then you say Kashi history, and it will come from the Google or whatever website. This is all available freely. You can download. So I'm not going to read all these things. The simple thing, just to justify that, that is started from 6th century AD and coming up to 2021. So that who has made this, how it has been. So first beautiful description in the Western perspective, we find in Song. That is about the 7th century, early 7th century, 613 about, no, nothing like exact date, but he described the city and then he emphasized that the greatest temple he has seen in his life is that is of Vishvanatha. Vishvanatha name came later on, and still old people never say Vishwanath, they say Mahadev, Mahadev, the same word. Similarly, already when Sang mentioned it, so that we try, now we are trying to have whole description and putting a sketch, hypothetical sketch, that where that he has seen that and how that has been shifted, where is now today. So that story started from 5th century and coming up to recent date. Okay, these are the persons what already referred by Achaji has solved so many of my issues what I was going to talk, but that's very good. So here is Qutbuddin Aibak, first it, that is 1194. 1194, that was given order with his direction and the temple. Now here is a question, which was, will show you whatever today we are talking about Vishwanath, that is not that. That is the third temple. The first temple very close to Rajia Mas. So he was responsible and his daughter became queen. And see, one good thing happened for 15, 20 years. But she said not to destroy. Whatever destroy, it is okay. But no new construction, no new destruction. So at the end of that, her regime, we find some of the document, there's some repairing and re-establishment of temple, partly at least, was done. Then we find complete gap. The period of Akbar, 1556 to 1605, that was the period of Akbar, who was emperor at Delhi, and his military commander was Raja Man Singh from Rajasthan. We found documents in their archives in Jaipur state that how he tried to change the mind of Akbar. The same Akbar responsible for about more than 100 temples destroyed in Kashi. We have these all Persian records. It is not only our Hindu records or Sanskrit records, but in Persian. Then Man Singh suggested that, look, if we are going to make a temple or give order like this, then you can have your new vision of Deen-e Ilahi, what he wanted, something like a religion, open religion. It was not against Islam, but more open type. That can be easily accepted. And Hindu society will be calm, not against you. So that was the basic idea. So Man Singh took that lead from the military side, then Todarmal from the finance side, and his own son Govardhan just to look after, just like contractor. And the guru who guided all these things, that was Narayan Bhatt. So he started here from left, you can see Qutbuddin Aibak, Rajia, Sultana, then Akbar, then Narayan Bhatt all together. That's why the temple was built in around 1585, 1585. But it was destroyed, completely destroyed, but western side is left. So there are two interpretations. There was a huge crowd against all this big agitation started. That's why it stopped. Second thing, interpretation according to Persian text was Aurangzeb gave order that some portion to be left that people can realize that I have this power. So it is just like teaching somebody, saying the culture or insulting that culture. That is an interpretation. And both are true in their own context. Then the story got completely gapped till 1665. 1669, then about 1765. A big gap. So about 90 years gap. In between, 2-3 times attempts have been made to re-establish the temple, renovate and restart, but never succeeded. Then credit goes to, and that's why very tightly now we say, whatever we are and whatever we can see belongs to Ahilya Bai Holkar, who took this initiative. Her husband died. After that, she took this vow, initiation, and 28 such Shiva temples all over India made under her direction, patronized by her and her estate. And among them, the most important considered historically is Kashi Vishvanatha. There is another person, never referred. I have walked under his guidance and footprints, Pandit Kedarnath Vyas, who died 3 years ago. He was such a knowledgeable person, not having any formal education, but remembering all the house number, all the text, mantras number, and which temple is where. That's how the whole team of Heidelberg project met to work for 5 years, surveying all the temples with all details of archaeology, history, mythology, Purana, etc., under his guidance. But Banaras having also funny tradition, they never honor such persons. So rarely any memorial things are here, but anyway, in the paper here. And then the last one comes here, our present Prime Minister Narendra Modi. That he tried to expand it, make it more accessible, making something very beautiful, and of course, in terms of more touristic, you can say. He got that idea. Question was asked that how he got this idea to do something. He said two things. The one thing was that I feel in my heart. And the second thing was when Mahatma Gandhi visited Varanasi in 1939, and he gone to see Vishwanath temple, the see the whole dirt and everywhere garbage, so congestion, all those problems. That inspired Narendra Modi, what he said in the interview, that I have to make that as a role model, as an example that how we maintain our divine land. So this was the whole story of all these people. Okay. So original place. So now just to say it, then I would say, you can see my cursor. The present Vishwanath temple is here, and only after you can find that 100 meters, 120 meters north, there is a mosque now. That was the first temple which was demolished and converted like this. This is called now Rajia Mosque. Where we find all inner side, you can go and you can find the symbols, different type of sign like Trishul, Jamru, lotus petal, Lakshmi, all these things are here. That converted into mosque by the late 12th century. So original temple is still you can see the pillars, etc. How grand was. So here we try to interpret that what Song used to say that on the tower, on the highest point, there was a huge Mahadeva temple, and that image was reflecting in the long, big pool, water pool, Jnanavapi. Vapi does not mean a small well. Vapi means huge water. That was description. In course of time, that became a small well. So now we call Jnanavapi as a well, but in fact it is not, according to description. Both description we find. Persian textual tradition and also in our Puranic tradition, especially Kashi Kanda of Skanda Purana. To give you an impression how today it looks like. But closely you can watch the pillars, etc. Then you find the designs are there. Of course, they have tried to rub or destroy, but it's still. Now that movement starts. So 1664, Aurangzeb tried. Of course, he destroyed in 1669. I will show you the order. That when he tried to send his military people and commander just tried to destroy. So based on some stories, this picture has been made in this way. Here he tried to discuss with good people, and then Naga Sadhus first time they have tried to save Kashi Vishwanath. And description said that 150 Nagas were just beheaded. They all dead. They all murdered. And that's why that became a gap that the temple could not be destroyed. So he succeeded after 5 years. And that was the position. This is the Farman. But many people say that he has not directly given any order. But sorry to say, here is the Persian translation. Everything is given at what time, how he said. He mentioned this clearly that most important temple of Lord Vishwanatha in that city, certainly to be demolished two things. The one thing, many intelligent and rishis and great such Hindu scholars gather there, so they discuss, and discussion will be again, he gets like this, discussion will be against Islam. This is one thing. And second thing is that is the nexus in physical sense. So let us destroy that one. That is the whole idea. So you can see this some interpretation already. This is based on the Persian translation. Now here is a very important thing. When we talk about that Akbar period and the Mansingh temple was built, it was not one instruction. It was also having just like you can say Panchayatan, four smaller temples, and in the center, the huge temple. That was the idea. And then in the eastern side, we find this is based on the Akbar period records. It may be Akbar Nama, Shai. There are two, three texts where it is mentioned. A small well. So that was the micro level representation of Ganwapi. What now we are talking about was Khana. So I will show you that one. So giving you the reference of all this. First time in a very detailed map that was prepared in 1822 by James Prinsep, who already died at the age of 41 only. He was here for 7 years. He was working in the mint, preparing the coins, etc., etc. He was the real lover and devotee of the Sanatan Dharma. He never tried to change himself, nothing like conversion, but great scholar. So what he said, the map he prepared is still considered to be the most authentic map, in which he has, you can see the right hand side, there is a huge map. I've taken that only portion. He has plotted the route of Antargriya, inner sanctum, and that represent like body. What he said that these are the two like foots, and here is the hridaya, the heart and body. So this was just like human body construction and yatra going on, pilgrimage journey going on. And center, that is what we call nexus, or axis mundi in architecture. So you can see that was the center here, my cursor. So that you see here in the left hand side, the big journey he has plotted. So many scholars say there was nothing like that, but they have not consulted James Prinsep report, which was published in 1831, but based on 1822, the date was already given. So already Vishwanath was at this central core, and then all around this journey, and that has a three division: the outer, the middle, and the central one. This right hand side, you can see that in the center. So that was the structure, and still that yatra is going on. Of course, it became here and there some breakers, but anyway. So if you can convert this whole yatra in modern technological term, so see the lower side, this way the yatra. What is more important is that it moves 7 times, taking 7 rounds, spiral, and then into 8 directions. Usually you can multiply 8 into 7, like this portion, 56 forms of Shiva. This is the way. And that 56 form representing human life from birth to death. This is described in the text Matsya Purana especially. So in the left-hand side, a study has been made, still in process, not finalized, at Kyoto University in Japan, based on astrophysics, that how this energy, human consciousness, meeting to some divine energy from outer to inner. So that journey starts like this way. Here is a model going like this, and then ultimately reaching to the central point of the heart. This is the way the whole model has been prepared. And at the preliminary stage, what he used to say, Professor Kondo, that only by doing, not by talking. If your mind is clean, no preconceived concept, and you do that, and then we can measure all these things through the different type of sensation and vibration. But in there only you can find that there is something going on. Is the great sages and rishis, they realize, and that's how they have converted these things into this type of journey and route. That is the inner portion of the same journey, that how it is moving. So in fact, Shiva is everywhere. But the thing is that in different form, in different contexts, his power is going to be changed. And that's why you are going to link all together. Now position comes, you see my cursor, I hope that is the Aurangzeb mask. Now propaganda is Gyanvapi mask, but nowhere in the paper it is written. It is written there, Aurangzeb mask. I will show you the original photograph of 1912 map. But I don't know that nobody is thinking about that. When you lose the original word, then you got a lot of controversy. This is the oldest place called Gyanvapi. Nothing like Gyanvapi mask. That was Aurangzeb mask, not Gyanvapi. Gyanvapi is the name of the cosmic journey, route, Kshetra, and the big pond. Not like a particular building. Nothing like that. Okay, so what I have just referred you, that moving seven spiral way and eight direction, this is the way all that form. So this is Vishwanath and his family, like Shiva and his farm 56, then Devi goddesses link, then Vinayaka, Gana, then Bhairava, that is a black form of Shiva, Vishnu, Aditya, Surya. This way, these all linked together. So total number is going 72. Shiva is in 56 forms, and the rest are his family members or others. So this is again that how this whole numerical symbolism based on the route and journey evolved. The center is Kashi Vishwanath. Here you see the map. Right hand side, this is 1912. The first cadastral and detailed map. It has about 20 sheets of Banaras, and is still nothing like any map, even based on aerial photographs, such map. It's so detailed. Every inch is so correct written. Nothing like that. It says that Mohalla, the neighborhood, legal name in British period was Antau Panda. And then Aurangzeb Masjid, what we call now Gyanvapi. Recently only within, you can say, 10 years, this whole propaganda made like this. So this is just to give you that once you narrate such a story, so many things are going to be diluted. Based on this, just come the left-hand side, we have tried to say that how Vishwanath's site has been changed. It's my cursor moving, what I have shown you, Rajya mask. First was where that was not clear. Most probably where we have, say, Rajghat excavation area, where the Avimukteshwar seal was found, maybe Vishwanath temple was there. But we are not sure, because we never find either archaeological proof, either electromagnetic survey proof. The indication, according to electromagnetic wave survey, is somewhere nearby, but nothing like clear cut. So that was the second. And then third one was, it was been destroyed by Aurangzeb. And fourth one is that Ahilyabai. This way you can say this is the fourth. So the whole problem is started at the number third, which is Aurangzeb mask, but now they call it Gyanvapi. So that is the same thing with the detail how Yatra was moving. So only 3-4 years ago, of course, some destruction took place after 6th December 1992, in India, that monument, so-called mosque. It was not a mosque also, again, according to Persian literature, that was destroyed. Then here also, a lot of movement, agitation started. But we have tried to plot that what the roots were. It was all moving around the mosque. And even in the western part of the mosque, already people going, we have done several times, going to some puja and ritual, because that was a part of Mangala Gauri. So take blessing from Mother Goddess and then perform the journey. That was the idea. Now look what is going on. That is started within 3-4 years. The detailed study of the backside. Who can say this is not temple? The simple question is this. You are talking about archaeological survey of India, now you say ground radar system. Whatever system you can use, you can open your eye and see the map. And already I will show you the whole design prepared by James Bishop in 1832. So this whole area, just to here is a caricature type of sketch, that the mosque and the back side here you see, that was, my cursor is moving, this is the portion, how it looks like. Then again, this whole problem of Ujukana, that is a water tank, now a stone structure found, They say, no, this is a water pump. And Hindus say, no, this is Shivalinga. Now, the thing is that if you can plot the whole area and superimpose the earlier description, then it is fitting into Nandi direction that Nandi is watching the linga in the water. So these are one. You see now the back portion. First time printed in 1822 by James Prince. This is based on that 16th century model, what is described during the period of Akbar. And today you can see my cursor is moving here. There is all that Hindu structure and backside is mass. Another description that when they are talking about the great mandapa, the canopy around that, this was the sketch based on Kashi Khanda. So that history goes to before 11th century, in the early Gahadwala period. So this was the whole design. And now they say, no, nothing like that. Then how they have described each and everything. Here is the thing I. So whatever you have seen, you see my cursor here, the back side you have seen that what is remained. The dotted line move like this. You see my cursor, outside of that one, all destroyed. Credit goes to James Prinsep, who was from the basis of the backside, he had tried to put this whole design, recreated what would have been like this. Later on, we have studied, and this is considered to be the best something model in temple design. You see all the correspondence. It may be square, double square, then you have double circle, and then you see all the direction 3, 3, 3, 3, 12 zodiac constellation. And then James Prinsep said it is not simple temple. He has coined a word, cosmogram. He said all that cosmic sense, astronomical phenomena converted into basement to construct this temple. So this temple is not only temple, but it is something like basic design to understand the cosmos and human interaction relation. So we find a text in a family that if you can count these grids at 27 into 27, then you have to know that where is your birth date and then try to use that whole chart to understand your horoscopic vision. This is also another perspective. In 1932, when the first time this whole lawsuit started, under direction of Professor Altekar, who was already Professor of History and Dean at Last University, under his direction, a map was prepared. Now you can see here, the first time the word has been written in bracket that this is Gyanvapi Mas. Of course, upper side it is written Aurangzeb Mas. It means first time Gyanvapi Mas were used in 1931 popularly. And this way the whole structure. Two important things are here. Whenever Hindu is going to perform the pilgrimage or any ritual in Kashi Vishwanath temple, you have to get permission from Avimukteshwara, which is just facing the main gate of the mosque here. People coming from here, then he getting permission, very tiny one, but historically that was very important. Even sometimes it is more important than Vishwanath. And later on it became the second one, and then Vishwanath became what we call superimposition of the divine being. This map, you see, middle portion, then in right hand side, a huge water pool was plotted. And Prinsep mentioned that Nandi, that you'll see the right hand side, Nandi is watching central. So there are some things slipped here still because the present main sign, according to that calculation, would be here, the right hand side. Then in that case, Nandi is not directly facing. But whatever Prinsep tried to say, it is fitting into that one. That's why this is another interpretation that Nandi is waiting to see that where is a Lord, because Nandi is always trying to align with the Shivalinga. Now here is an academic question. That this, which period this Nandi were installed? That is another one. 1819, 1819. We have inscription. We have found a well there. inscription, and that was donated by King of Nepal. So that is another perspective. Many people, those who are not believing in all this great thought of Sanatana Dharma, they say that this is all manipulation. Later on, it will be added, but that is not our point. This will give you another perspective that recently some scholars they have tried to reassess this whole plan of Kashi Vishwanatha, how the different deities set like. So basically, this is based on principle because that is the most standard. Then 31, just now I have shown. So it is another perspective to see that in terms of architectural design, correspondence, interlinkages of the different mandapa, canopies and guards, that is going to be something like you can say, this is the house of gods, not God, gods, and Shiva is the representative. Still, we are working on that to prepare a whole series of design like this. One example is here. Our architect engineer, Divya Gupta, what he's trying to do. So he took this present aerial photography map, the blue one, and then superimposed that Princep has prepared. And then tried to see that how it is going to fit to the alignment that it actually described and interpreted. So to what extent it is like this? Because of many controversial things raised from the other side, our friends, Muslim friends, they say, no, Aurangzeb never destroyed this is our original, this is also many things. So this is just to say that how this architecture is fitting. Till date, we can say it is already 80% Hindu. And the system is fitting into that architectural design. Like this, the same thing in a different perspective, scholars have tried to describe. Here, the thing is fine, this is not based on the scale. Earlier, I have shown you based on the scale. So when we put the scale, then only we can easily measure what is alignment, how it is not. Like one example you see. So sometimes in our design also, here is a mistake. They show 90-degree angle, but when we measure in the field, it is not 90 degree. It is only 82. So it means there is something problem in preparing such maps, or some of the images little bit moved here and there, and that's why it is not fitting to this. This is the statement based on a scientist, Subhas Kok, who has a little bit studied concept, and he's man of computer graphics and thermodynamics and distinguished professor of physics. What he tried to say that whatever Princep tried to inform us, that is the original Vishveshvara temple, and a linga having 2-3 levels. The one is universal linga, which you can't see, you can imagine. Second is related to the water linga, where the life is starting. So present Vajukhana, the water pool is linked to that one. And according to that measurement, you can say 7 feet is linked like that. So he come to this conclusion, and nothing to say that the water pump like this. No, it is wrong. It is something. And what I refer that like in Rajya Mosque, here is this Gyanvapi Mosque. See the symbol, trident, swastika, trishula, like this. Not one. Now it is ASI report already available on the net. Hundreds of that one. So no one can say that it is not like this. The well I have talked about, here is that well, and here is the bull. To see the side. That stories go to Rana Bahadur Shah, who was the king of Nepal, who has introduced Pashupatinath temple miniature form here in Banaras, and that is they have his son donated that Nandi. So if you can try to link even that during that period, even in 1810 or 2-3 years plus minus, people were knowing that Nandi somehow have been started by invaders or our Muslim friends, and that's why it is not fitting into that alignment. So if you reconstruct all these things, the story is coming that how the whole dilution is. Now what happened that during the period of Aurangzeb, that king of Jaipur, having some close connection concerning just guiding different type of architectural things, he tried to please Aurangzeb and his group that some portion of this original already linga lost. Okay. So the basement, what we call Yupa here, that is the original. And this was just backside of Rajia Mosque. And that was opened in 1669. Only after, you can say, 10 years gap of destruction of Vishwanath temple. So that is now controlled by the Rajasthan state property, the king property. But the important thing is that its stories are linked together to justify that what we call that anything is structure is lost, but place is there. The place always having manifestation of divine spirit. So it is nothing like that one lost is lost. Just like in case of Ayodhya. Many people say, already it is lost, it is lost. No, why you are fighting? Text says no. Structure may be lost, never the spirit possessed there. So that is here idea Adi Visheshwar. Here I have to make a point that somehow it may be politicalized or it may be some mistake. It happened that they say this temple is Adi Visheshwara. It is not. Adi Visheshwara is separate and Visheshwar is separate. Visheshwar is the highest level and Adi Visheshwar is supporting it. Okay, so that is the basement. Let me quickly go. Some of the back portion of that I have shown you now replicated in this Adi Visheshwara temple. This is the way the whole design of that one. 40% today. That is Ahilyabai. This way now here is a problem. You see this back side, my cursor is moving. This whole left side, and then this portion. When this Vishwanath corridor developed, it's completely lost. They have changed it. There's so many things already lost in that context. It's already developed since 1780. So on the present day, today is Shivaratri, 1781, 780 on the day of Shivaratri, consecration was made and this was done like this. So that is the same James Princeps back because time is going to finish, so quickly I have to pass on. I was talking that what is found and how this is the water pool. This is the found that what they say water fountain, but in fact this is all addition. This is the Shivalinga what already Princeps referred. So in 1812, that was clear indication. Till that date, story was alive. And later on, manipulation done like this. Who can say this is not temple, this is mosque? How you can say? See the backside. Design, I have talked about this. Now recently, just you know that underground surveys made. This sketch was already prepared 10 years earlier. It was already guessed that there is underground all the images and different type of tantric version of Shiva worship in the form of Shiva worship in the form of. Now it is going to be put by ESI report. And already that is the Gyanvapi, what were you talking, that is now in the form of well, earlier it was used water pool. That man I have referred you, we have Vyasa now in the last stage of his life. This photo was taken and then after a few months he died. Sometimes some confusion made that here is the word was written Gyanvapi. This was taken by Samuel Byrne, 1868. But that is not Gyanvapi. So people took it as a base and it started movement because that is totally close by to that one, and still portion of it exists. Gyanvapi is well, not this temple itself. So sometimes such controversy here. This is the way that moved. So that was the place, number 2, Rajia Mosque, then Adi Visheshvara, then he moved the present one, Mosque, and Ahilyabai is here for. So whatever you see, and we are talking all this development, that is the number 4. Okay. That is just to remember that this was a model frame was prepared before that temple was constructed. Now it is nothing. It is a little bit neglected because the temple was already developed. This was a preparatory model to develop Kashi. Some of the important what we call auxiliary temples, supporting temples developed in the area and people are illegally occupied. So when we are crying that 315 houses were demolished and such things has been happened, sorry to say, out of 300 15, at least 200 houses have been illegal encroachment, and such temples they have covered up and they closed. So now all clean and they are coming up. Okay, some loss have been done, but it is nothing like that. All an important are preserved like this. So this way that it started, 19, 20, and now you see this whole area. This is the way based on 2017 map. And now you can see this is 2017. So here is that mosque, and backside is temple. Now this is the plan. The same thing you have seen earlier here. You see this one, and now you see this whole area changed like this. So Vishwanath, Kashi Vishwanath temple complex is not only this whole area. The main gate now is started here. You go to Ganga Snan and do the ritual, and then you walk around and come like this way, and then reach to Vishwanath. So you have Panchapadi, 5 step, 5 type of zone, Panchabhuta. So this is something in modern world, recent world, you can say, unique structure to say that our ancient system of all architecture and Shilpa Vijnana is going to be survive. Of course, there is predominance of tourism. That's another aspect. This is the plan. Now you see this, how it's going on. This is the way now it looks. Earlier it was nothing like that. It was all something too complex. So you see the whole space open. Now there are 5 gates, including Ganga Bar, and 4, one from the Ganga side. What I have referred that, look, who can stop? More touristic things are going on. Young chaps are going there, only photography, singing, dancing. So they are not having that spiritual sense. But we hope that maybe time will come that they will realize this. So 3, Sankaracharya, who started all this system of this great cosmic dance and interpretation of Lord Shiva. Then Bharat Mata, how this whole India is connected. Here is a Labai. Now 3 structure are inside the temple, so that you can think about how these 3 deva, 3 divine images are related to Shiva like a trident. So just 1-2 slides now finished. So this is to say that our dharma is nothing like what people say it is Hindu, a cult, a sect, a sampradaya. It is complete way of life, what Radha Krishna used to say, Sanatana. So it is through the space, asthana, time, kala, and implicit deep belief, what we call astha. 3 meet together that make the Sanatana. Coming from the past, continuing in the present, and then perspective going toward the future. You see with the trident, and that's why the trident is taking in his hand, Lord Shiva. And through the sound phenomena, Damaru is trying to make this. And that we have to realize how passing that tradition from one generation to another generation, like you see 2 boys, young cats. They are my grandsons. I have not properly guided them, but they slowly we have made such a condition they can learn that things, and so that they can try to understand and pass on from one generation to another. So now last, do we say Dhanyavad? Thank you very much. It is nothing like that. This is lecture end, but we always meet in the street of the Kashi, or you can imagine, and we can meet. So say the 5th lecture, last line of Swami Vivekananda in Chicago, he has cited from Kathopanishad, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. It is coming. Let us realize this and follow that path what Swami Vivekananda has tried to say, understanding Kashi in terms of cosmic holes in the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rana ji, for giving such a very detailed view of Kashi Vishwanath Temple and Kashi. So we'll go to question answer session.
Dhanyavad, sir, for a very detailed, profound lecture. My question was the site of ancient Varanasi, which was supposedly in Rajghat, where Jiddu Krishnamurti's establishments are there. So हमारे पास कोई पुरातत्व और इतिहास के संदर्भ से कोई है वहां पे क्या पुरातन समय में वहां पे कुछ काशी विश्वनाथ जो अभी का स्वरूप है वैसा तो नहीं होगा, लेकिन कुछ वैसा था उस एरिया में? ये मेरा प्रश्न है। थैंक यू।
That you can remember my map. That number 1 was not plotted because even the electromagnetic survey or radar survey in that area could not define that where is the site. But anyway, intensity of light and all those technical things going in that area, it means somewhere in that area near Rajghat up to Vishveshvara, somewhere there was a temple. Some scholars say, of course, Lat Bhairav, that is close to the railway line. So that may be the ancient site. Because according to mythology, when Shiva has killed his father-in-law, the head had been pasted in his palm. You know that story. So he was moving in all the three realms. Then Brahma suggested there is a site that you can go there, then only take holy dip. So he came here, and that place is called Kapala Mochana, and it means the head has been tested, which has been taken release from his palm. So that is Kapala Mochana. So according
Right.
to that mythological story, that is close by to that area. But still, no way one can identify where it was or it would be. That Avimukteswar region. But nowhere we find to say it only school life for maybe there. Second site we can say Rajiamas. Third site we say Gyanvapi. And the fourth site we say Ahilyabai.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, one request is there. Sir, our
Yes,
history is
please.
not our history is not a mythology. So,
Yeah.
word mythology should be stopped being used in our culture.
Yeah, we have tried. So you are absolutely right. And namaste and pranam to you that you have raised openly this thing. Sometimes what happened when we talk to the Western friends, they say mythology also means that one, what you say, metaphysical explanation. Our system is metaphysical, always metaphysical. We start from the Sarir and then we go to Brahma.
So
While in the West, yeah,
even
yeah.
for them, they have to accept our words. We are not supposed to accept their words because they have to understand our culture. So if they have to understand our culture, they have to understand our words which we use in our culture.
Yeah,
So
the
that is
problem is there are, let me add two problems. The one problem is that we are emphasizing things in English. English is not our language. This is one thing.
so
Second thing is, and just listen one more thing. And second thing is still our mind is colonial. We try to convince them. We never say what we are, but we try to convince them. That is the
decolonize. So
last thing.
decolonize our minds.
Yeah, and the last thing to give you a good example that at least Heidelberg to Bingen, these university centers, they never use the word like you say religion. They say Hindu Dharma, Sanatan Dharma. Ras is Ras. Yatra is Yatra. Yatra does not mean to go by train, etc. In our senses, Yatra is always something deeper, spiritual walk. So at least in German tradition, two universities I know are using such terminology that if you want to understand Bharat, then you have to use that term as such, not translate and not comparing them. That is like Tirth is Tirth. It is nothing like that fall to the water and close to the water. No, it is Tirth. And that's how we have tried to say, thank God that some are Western accepted, but not Indian. Like when we say pilgrimage studied in English, so we have given term is tirthology. And already in 2015, in one of the based meeting, when I proposed this, all accepted. But our own scholar, they say, oh, he's idiot fellow talking nonsense. That is the problem.
So colonial influence.
Yeah, time will come. Many people like you are inspiring. We are trying to fight. So slowly, young generation will learn. I hope.
Okay, sir.
So
Thank you.
as long as we express ourselves in the language of the colonizer, it is natural that their constructs will come into our mindscape. That is my view on the subject. अगर हम
Sure.
भारतीय भाषाओं का इस्तेमाल करेंगे तो भारतीय सभ्यता और भारतीय
Yeah,
तत्व
absolutely right.
आएंगे.
Yeah. The one thing let me add here that like when we are using English, so we are not using diacritic. Okay, so like R-A-M-A, you can pronounce it Ram, you can say Rama, you can say Rama, you can pronounce anyway. But when you put diacritic mark, rarely in Germany you'll find those who are studying India without diacritic, they never write. But we are not habituated to do that. So having even the correct way to pronounce that. Like example is here. The moment we say Shiva, in English we always say Shiva. We are so much accustomed to say Shiva means wife. The word is Shiva. When you use A, Wa means feminine, Shiva. So Shiva, not Shiva. But we are again this influence what you rightly said. So we have to know, and this slow process, but coming up, I hope. Not in my generation, but maybe young generation can do something good. Yes,
We'll
please.
move to the next question by Professor Dr. N. Murthy. Please.
Yes, just you said Shiv, but in other Indian language like Telugu, Kannada, it is called Shiva only, not Shiv.
No, I am talking about pronunciation, not writing. When you write like you write S, then upper bar, I-V-A, pronounce Shiva. A, upper line, then only Shiva. So that is the problem. This all developed due to this colonial period. It is nothing like the question related to languages, maybe Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, or Kannada, whatever. They are the original. They are. But during all this period, colonial period, things change. And the moment you change the pronunciation, the meaning differs.
Huh?
So many scholars are trying to solve this. So let us hope. It is nothing like what
And
is actually original, it is not.
according to you, Shiva, Vishnu, all these they born on this earth and they lived for some time.
Ananda?
According to you,
Yeah.
Shiva, Vishnu, Lakshmi, all these they born on this earth and live for some time.
No, nothing like I have nothing like in the position according to me. What I have already said. I'm just one particle of dust in this whole cosmos. So no way I can say like this. This is not the basic question of who were born or not. That is a different question. If you can come from the theoretical physicists, those who are dealing with the Indian mysticism, these are the things to understand the whole cosmos, the whole galaxy like this. You have huge literature on that. So the Bhakti tradition, what you said, devotionalism, then you talk about they have been born over then is going on like that. But when you go to deeper level metaphysical tradition, then you find that how they have calculated all those things, how they were knowing 9 planets, how they have calculated all these things. They were not talking that who has been born or not. They were talking about the cosmic reality. But many scientists are doing that. From Indian side, Raj Vedam is there. From Kerala, okay, settled in the US. Swaskak is there. Sudarshan is there. And in Indian context, K. Ramakrishnan is there in Mumbai. They are dealing like this. So in devotional term, you can say they are born. It is your faith. But when you go metaphysical explanation based on our textual tradition, my goodness, the world has realized. Now UNESCO has said that there is no ancient book, there is no any astrological calculation, there is nothing like to understand the whole cosmos except the Rig Veda. How many of us are studying in that context? No? But hope that it may come. So that question is nothing like directly to be answered, they were born or not. If you have in Bhakti tradition, okay, they are born, they are good friends, they are lovely friends, they are coming, you can do initiation, you can do puja, he will come or she will come, give you the Laddu Prasad, like Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Guru of Vivekananda, he used to say that Mother Kali is every day coming and feeding. Okay, that is climax of Bhakti tradition. But once you go to see Yes, Kanadi. You can see by Vaishik Sutra, Kanadi, the whole calculation of atomic energy. In Vivekananda Memorial Vedanta Temple, that is 65 kilometers away from Chicago, huge complex with all these great sages, 3 dimensional, all alive, Sanskrit, and then parallel. You can see when we are talking about Kanadi, you see Otto Hahn, how he has calculated this. As Subhas Kaki used to say, now recent book he has published, all these things gone from India in a different way, and people have narrated in it. So that is other side. And now it is coming in the scientific world, it is coming up very clearly. Okay, thank you. Very deep question.
Thank you, Ji.
Sir, I read many of your essays, book chapters, etc. And some things are not very transformative. For this, I want to offer my thank. My question is, actually, you have shown a slide in which you have given a map of India and the map of sacred scape of Kashi in the same screen, representing the sacred points of Hindu tirthas, which are also placed in Kashi's map. You have shown it India as mesocosm and India as macrocosm and the city as mesocosm. Sir, my question is, I have gone up to the serial number 28 of tirthas you have given. 25 is Ganga Sagar. Among them, Ganga Sagar has not such direct relationship with Lord Shiva, but whether as Gangaji descends from Lord Shiva, for which it has or any astrological connection.
Sure. You are right. Now, there are two things. If you follow the Western scientific tradition like Subhas Kak and other fellows, Sudachandya and all that, Shiva is not a body. We conceive a body and like this. So each part, like I have shown one of the picture, 18 points in the body and 18 lingas like this. The same thing you can add with the Ganga Saga, the meeting of the two energies, the river and then the ocean. And that is the middle point like this here. The two energy meeting here and here like this. Shiva is at the center. Shiva is a cosmic dancer, Nataraja, in that way. And moon is always here. The Ganga is here. If you see the 12th century image of somewhere, in Banaras we have one such image, where Ganga is sitting here and moon is just close by, like this way. So Ganga is considered to be, according to Matsya Purana description, Ganga is considered to be the liquid energy of Lord Shiva. And there is a beautiful story in Shiva Purana, which is not a standard Purana, that is secondary level Shiva Purana. There is a story that once Parvati became very angry and she said goodbye to you. Then Shiva asked why? And now you are in love affair with the Ganga and you never love me so much, so bye to you. And then Shiva converted himself into the cosmic 10 hands, 5 heads, and then by one hand he picked hand of Parvati and said, and this line is going to be very important. He said, "Oh my dear Parvati, you know that you are my cosmic energy and Ganga is my liquid energy. So physicality, liquidity, together that make the Shiva. What do you mean by I love you more or love her more? You are that energy." And then Parvati became very cool, and then Parvati prayed Ganga that, look, I was confused, please. That is the description of Shiva. So in that way, you can say that when we are talking about Ganga Sagar, so in a symbolic way, we have to express that is a wonderful description. We have to interpret it like this. We have to take help of some of the grammarian texts to understand this. Because most of these textual traditions are in quote. What our good friend said that these are not mythology. Mythology is the Western term. It is something metaphysical, codified, symbolic expression. So the moment you put the T, then slowly it is coming out. First example, I can give you from Kathopanishad. There is a description when Yamaraja and Nachiketa description going on, blah, blah, blah. There is a line, Yamaraj said, "Oh my dear, what you see Now you see, Anu translate into molecules. Anore Anuan. When you transfer Anu into so many infinite particles, Anur Anuan Mahato Mahiyan, then the biggest energy will come up. The same thing is equal to MC square. This is already written. This is not me. This is already Philosoph Kafra has discussed, and Shuko book has discussed. So you see the parallel. So now that very rightly think that there is no other good English word to say. These are not mythology. You have to decodify. You have to search the key. And then through our text to analyze, not from the outside. Like some of your writings, which indirectly I have objected that only you are testing West. That's good, but you have to put your point that here is ours. And time will come, they will realize. Now people are realizing. Okay, thank you.
Actually, a very big thank you, and we are so blessed actually on this auspicious Mahashivratri day to hear your words. And it is like through your words, we actually received a glimpse of Vishvanatha, Kashi Vishvanatha Darshan. So that is a very big blessing for us. So with Loka Samstha, we can conclude this session.
Okay, thank you.
ॐ लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ